So even the dog getting down. Look at
that. Even the dog getting down. What's going on? We're back, everybody. We're back.
I can't stop.
Last week we took a little break.
Oh,
but we're back for episode 14. And in episode 14, we're actually going to have a return guest.
yes.
Thomas Johnson, creator and mastermind of Raxon Universal Dominion. So we're going to be talking about some more mechs, y'all, and comics and the good, bad, the ugly, all that good stuff. But yeah, just kick things off. Scorpio, how things been? How things been going?
Lord Jesus have mercy. I need a vacation.
Vacation.
A long vacation. Like just
I understand.
don't shut off social media, all of that. Just do nothing.
I understand. I get it. I
But
fully understand.
until I become rich, which will be very soon.
Oh yeah.
Here I am.
You gotta do that grind. You gotta do that grind. And that's what I'm like, the big thing with me. Like today I just freaking did the release of the a new tea that's gonna be coming
Yes.
next month on Monday. And they've really been paying attention to the Patreon and stuff like that, and a lot of stuff going on. So trying to get that path to being rich, or at least trying to get on Thomas level, as far as like comic sales and stuff like that. But yeah, but it's been busy. Been writing, inking, because I'm inking Stars issue 2. So I've been writing, inking, designing so much clothing. That's on my resume now. Like for real.
Clothing designer.
Yeah, clothing design is on the resume now. Because but it's been fun. Figured out too the perfect plan for especially since I'm helping folks, with their social medias and stuff like that. I figured out the best way for me to post to where it doesn't stress me out. So that's been good too, and that's been fun. But yeah, so you're gonna get rich. We're gonna get there, especially with that new idea we just came up with this week for you.
Oh yes.
Yeah. You want to tell anybody about that show? You want to keep it for now, or you want to wait?
I'm still putting down because I want at least 10 ideas so I can go ahead and get those.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Done and him post those. Then that way I have my little. But I already got a couple of ideas. I'll talk to you about those.
Yeah, we need to talk about that because I'm excited for that because that's dope. Because when we were talking about it, I'll tell you the show after the show that put me in the mind of the idea. But I'm like, it's one of those things where it's like that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Like no one, so it's so that could become big. Like
I'm looking forward to it. But
all right.
Yeah.
So
that's our lives, man.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, let's go ahead and get this show started. Everyone, like I said, our guest tonight is Thomas Johnson II, creator of Raxon Universal Dominion, which is a mech-based comic book, sci-fi, no holds barred, no sacred cows. Everybody's up to die. so, so we're gonna go ahead and bring him on so he can tell you some more.
You thought
Yeah.
Thomas was bad with the whole things dying there. No.
I was shipping characters when I was reading one of the books, and I was like, no, why would you do that? Like, he probably knows exactly what was like that. And then like there was characters that I was like, oh, I like this character. I like this character. No.
Now you see how I felt.
Don't put your feelings in, y'all. Don't put your feelings in. But let's go ahead and bring up Thomas so we can get back to talking about these mechs. Because when I tell you this, and I mean it, there's so much that we didn't even touch on the last time he was on the show. So Thomas, welcome back to the bridge.
Mr. Thomas, thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. You know we had to.
And in my defense, all the Star Wars movies should be rated R. They kill more people than anybody.
For real.
That is very true.
For real.
Just remember, every time you see a TIE fighter get destroyed, that was somebody's kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Well, damn, now that you put it that way. Gosh.
Since y'all say I killed so many people in my stories.
You're right. But I mean, it makes sense though, because if you think about all these superhero comics or like superhero comic book movies and everything, they kill a lot. That's the reason why I was shocked when everybody was like, "Oh my god, Man of Steel, they killed so many people." I'm like,
you know, I mean, how long they've been killing in all of these?
They kill a lot of people in the Marvel movies too. Like,
yeah,
I think if somebody's over there just saying, "I've never seen anybody running to help." like they're killing people over there too. So, I think I only saw like Remy in one movie where everybody was like, "Hey, come this way," and then I think they still died. The individuals that they were leading off because they was on one of the helicopters that got shot down. So I don't know. It's weird how people pick and choose. You know, what they want to.
That's how the world. That's how the world works now. We can we pick and choose who we want.
Not the fascist kid. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That is how the world works right now. It is wild.
It's crazy.
I was getting interviewed yesterday, and we actually talked about that. You know, based off of what DC is doing now and how everything's going back to what Zach was already standing up. And I was like, a lot of people didn't like Man of Steel. I actually enjoyed it. I felt like I was watching a comic book when I watched it. Like that's what it felt like to me. You know, and I understood Superman's point of view. But like I was saying with someone, and y'all can chime in, let me know what y'all think about this too. But the way I was explaining it to somebody, because this dude was angry, he was like, Superman don't kill. He was like, well, put it this way. I was like, I'm a military member, I'm also a trained fighter. You know, I'm a veteran and a trained fighter. Just because when I was a white belt, I didn't go into the dojo and challenge the black belt.
No,
you know,
you knew better.
Like, because I knew what would happen, I would get my ass kicked. I was like, so if you look at it, you have Zod, who is a military general leader. He's your black belt. You have Superman, who quite literally, before that fight even started, threw logs into somebody's truck because of a temper tantrum because the man poured alcohol on him. So he's clearly the white belt. And both of them got the same powers. Who do you think's going to win? I mean, I get it. We love Superman, and we know what Superman's capable of.
The white belt, tell you that much.
But it ain't the white belt. So when all the things that Zod was doing, I was like, that made sense. And everybody was like, but Superman could have left the city. I was like, did you not hear the part where Zod told him if he left, I will destroy? He said, if you leave, I'm going to destroy the city. So don't, like, if you leave, I'm not following you. which I thought was like, when you think about it with a villain, that's the harshest thing a villain could say. Like, sure, you can fly up to the moon. I'm not going to follow you, though. I'm just going to blow up the city while you're flying to the moon.
Damn.
So I'm going to follow you up there. What it look like? And every time you try to leave, I'm going to bring you back because I want you to see the people you love die. That man had no inhibitions. Like, he was there for the smoke. So I think Soups did what he had to do. And I will fight for that. I will fight that. to the end.
I mean, what can you say?
It's like, but why did he break his neck? What was he gonna do? There was nothing to hold this man. This is the first time the world met Superman. What do you think they're gonna? They don't know what the weaknesses are. So what are they gonna put Zod in? Like he had no choice. It's like people don't pay attention to it because people are like you said, it's the era we're in now where everybody picks and chooses what they want to like, even if it's something horrific, because it tickled a little special part of them. It's the best thing ever, And I get finding happiness in meek and dismal situations, but call trash. And there's a lot of trash that people enjoy, So, but yeah. Okay, I'm off my tirade. So it's just that it just reminded me of that. Like I was talking about it. It just reminded me of that conversation. And the dude agreed with me. He was like, "Yeah, I get it." He was like, "I get it." I was like, I would have did the same thing. So it's like here I am, this little white belt. I finally got my hands on this man.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna let him go, or am I gonna break it? I'm gonna break his neck. Like, you better be glad it wasn't me. I would have freaking laser beamed him through the freaking skull if it was me. Like,
exactly.
I would make sure there was no way you were coming back.
Pulled out an eye.
Yeah, I would have made sure there was no way you were coming back.
Oh.
But oh man, so Thomas, how's everything? We don't
After that bloody conversation,
right?
How is life going?
How's everything going? How's the creating? Because I know you've been nose down putting in work lately.
Oh yeah,
with all the creating. So how's all of that
going? I actually had a stress knot for a minute.
Oh man!
But it was one of those blockages. One of those you just be like, okay. But it was a good blockage because I had got back into working on my source book, and I think I shared with you a small typo that we found in the book, which was hilarious.
Yeah,
I was like, it was like, okay, that's funny as hell, and if anybody ever has a copy of it and they catch that. That would be one of the funniest things that I could find. That I was just like, I already found errors in the book, and I said, okay, we're going to redo this book. Going to add some stuff to it, add some more verbiage, everything to it, clean up the language. Because some stuff was like, this was old language. Okay, let me update this. I found that one. I was like, that was one of those. Damn, how did I miss that? Well, it's in there and it's funny. So, but.
I get you because like I did that with a almost Stigmata. Like recently over the summer, I was reading back through it. Issue 2. You have issue 2. Just go look. I have a eye with the bars where it shouldn't be, and I saw it. I was like, son of a. Like most people, and it was funny because like even the show I was on last night, and I mentioned that, and they were like, "Wait, they do that in comics?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, the eye with the bars is possessive, so that's when you're talking about yourself. I'm like, any other I, like in the word fit or the word idea or the word, anything with the I in it, it's just the line. They don't have the bars, because of the capital letters. It's just, and I was like, so I think it was like with I think the character said idea or something. And so it was the crossbar. And I saw it. I was like, how did I miss that? That's like,
it happens.
Like, that's like at the beginning, but it happens. And it's the worst thing ever because you don't notice it. And then you'll see it. The book's already been out there. You done sold out 5 times. And then all of a sudden you like, oh, damn, I missed that,
That's one of those. How did this get past somebody?
Exactly. Like, who was editing this? Oh, that was me.
Who this?
Oh, my goodness.
Who was the IC on it?
That's when you be like, I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no friends.
No friends at all. You talking
ain't even
shit to
catch
yourself?
this.
Talking shit to yourself. I'm gonna kick your ass later. How you let me miss that? Who you talking to? Myself. I'm talking to myself.
Lord. So you gonna say, Lord have mercy.
Yep.
But I did literally actually started drawing again this month.
Okay.
I started yesterday. Started on a new drawing, another character.
About time. We need some more badass mechs out here.
Oh well, there's a lot. There's still a lot of them that nobody's seen. There's like I say, I got over 100 of them, close to 200.
200 new or 200 at all?
200 in all.
Oh, I thought you said two. I thought you were about to say 200 new. Oh,
if I cranked out 200 new, I'd be like, I got to get these 100 seen first.
Look here, if you said you had 200 new, Tira was finna get off this live.
Well, he ain't seen all of them either.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've seen a lot.
No. He finna shut down everything, and he finna go and work on 200 more books of his own.
For real, I gotta catch Thomas right now. But that's the relationship Thomas and I have. Like we're like when I say we're good friends. Like we come to each other, and like when we need help, we'll come to each other, help each other. But that's the relationship we have. And so like Thomas would be like, "Oh, I did this." I'm like, "Fuck, how can I stage him up?" You know what? I'm gonna make a new T-shirt.
Damn.
Yep. I'm gonna make a new character. Like Thomas, what do you think? Like, what do they do? Everything. Damn it. Okay, what do you think of this mech? Damn it. You know, it's just back and forth. You need that. You need that.
Yeah, that's
I know a lot of people don't like having that, but you need that. You know,
that was what got me to go ahead and get his character into my stories. I was like, let me get his character drawn. And I was like, okay, let's get this ball rolling. Couldn't never find no pictures of him smiling. He do like that Black Dynamite. It's like, why don't you ever smile? He's sitting there. I am smiling.
I am smiling.
It's like I found one picture with him cheesing hard, and it was a sad shot of his face. And that was when he came to Detroit at the MechaCon, and he was standing in front of me and Damone's table, and we was just cracking jokes and everything. And it was somebody caught a sad shot of Tyrone's face, turned sideways, cheesing like, because I think we was cracking up.
I remember that
picture. The only picture you see him really smiling throughout all his pictures. Even the person that was trying to draw the picture of him was trying to find pictures of him with a slight smile or smirk. Either his smirks look too sarcastic, it's like, no, that looked like he about to do something illegal or something.
But he probably was.
Yeah,
honestly,
so it's like, no, that one ain't gonna be right. So it's like finally found the right look, and I was like, okay, let me try to get this guy's face just close to him, close as possible to him.
Yeah.
And then when I sent it to him, he was looking. I hope he liked it. But it was just like, it just looks like him being sinister in a way, especially the character that he's going to be playing in the story. Don't worry, I ain't gonna kill your character. I ain't gonna kill him.
You got to stab him right in the throat.
Hey, to make it seem like he died, but make him
There's
come
gonna
back
be some stuff gonna happen to him.
Like cybernetic.
No,
honestly,
Thomas,
with the character,
Thomas,
and I don't want to give too much of him away. Like if he came back with cybernetic, like with freaking cybernetic eyeballs,
cybernetic, nothing. Take his character out. Let him know what it feels like.
Hey, Scorpio, you know that Alex is in Sovereign Black now, right?
Yeah, but ain't nothing you can do about it. You must forgot I created that one. You can do something. I'm gonna find a way to go around it. You know,
I'm like Kunoichi. Go over there, talk to Alex. Use your feminine wiles in the slit his throat.
Go ahead. He gonna tap that and get right back up.
Now Kunoichi. Now Kunoichi.
It's too easy to just kill his character.
I wouldn't kill Alex. Huh?
It's just too easy to kill his character. It just wouldn't feel right.
Especially his profession. It comes with the profession.
Since we talk about killing characters. Okay. Tia, we had talked about this a while back. Where I always stated that it's not I think that when you're creating a character, you should not make your character vulnerable, to be easily shot down or easily just one stab and they're gone. Like I've seen somebody create a character where the character actually or the character actually what they were doing it was easy for my character to just pull out a gun and just go and the character's gone. So how do you feel about that? Like, should do you think it's okay to make the some characters vulnerable, or do you think they shouldn't make them so easily to kill off? Because I don't think you should make them so easy to get rid of.
I'll let you handle that first. Because right now, you between me and you, I think you have the highest. Nope, I forgot I killed a planet. No, but you killed like 5 planets, so you do have the highest body count. So between the both of us, you guys
But
met
but
first.
but do y'all get what I'm saying about making
Yeah,
making your character
Yeah.
so easy to just kill
mhm.
off? I'm like, no, don't do that.
I think a lot of people. Thomas, I'll let you go first, and then I'll say what I have to say. I'll let you
I
go
would
first.
say it depends. It
Mhm,
depends on, did you create this character as somebody that you planned on killing off? And if
Hmm.
you did you do it with any depth? Was it just a meaningless death? If you're going to
mhm,
give a character that you're going to kill, a good small arc or with a
Hmm.
long arc or however you're going to kill him
mhm,
or her, if you do it right, it can make sense,
yeah,
Hmm.
because depending on what's all going on in the story that you write behind them, of how you introduce this character and everything like that, it would make sense. But if you just made a character like how we used to play role playing games, you roll
Hmm.
up, you create a character, and you done made everything in this character badass, and then the GM kills you off because you did something stupid, like jumped over a
yeah,
balcony, and
Yeah.
that you because you got all these hit points and everything, and it's like that was just stupid. You're
yeah.
gonna jump off a 50-foot balcony because and you can't fly. You don't
Hmm,
have any healing powers.
hmm,
Your character can do certain things sweet, but it's like that wasn't one of them. And an uncontrollable fall, you fall on your damn head, bust your head open, you're dead.
hmm.
Yeah, that's a stupid thing.
And that,
you
Okay.
know?
and that, and that. Honestly, I'm glad you said that, Tony. 'Cause that's what I was going to lead to. That, and what I was going to say was like, I think some people, because they're writing superhero books, they forget that just because a character is a superhero doesn't mean they're super. You know,
Yeah.
like even with Superman, he's invulnerable, but you shoot him with kryptonite and that's it. That's all she wrote. He's dead. You
Yeah.
know, so and I think a lot of people forget that. So they're like, oh, well, this is a superhero. So they'll write them and put them in positions that make them vulnerable,
Hmm.
but they won't think about things like, oh yeah, they don't have healing, or they're not invulnerable, or they can't fly. Then they make them do something crazy. Like for instance, with Kunoichi, like when
Hmm.
I had her do that Halo drop with no parachute,
Ooh.
people were like, wait, is she invulnerable? Does she have healing? Like, what's up with her? I'm like, well, her family's trait is like they can encompass their body with their kai and
Hmm.
use that to harden. They harden their kind and makes them indestructible. I'm like, however, after that happened, you'll notice in issue 2, she's always talking about how much of her kai she used because for her to do that, it took a lot of her energy. And there's like a lot of people, and people will wonder, well, how am I writing myself in the corners? And they got to get all these MacGuffins. And that's one thing Thomas and we talked about in depth. Like a lot of the way a lot of people grab MacGuffins because they write themselves in the corners, but it's like
Hmm.
if you just remember that even though your character's super, they can still have vulnerabilities. You would never write yourself into a MacGuffin or write yourself into a corner to where you have to use, somebody runs up, Swan comes out from top left for no apparent reason and saves the day and then dies.
Hmm.
You don't have to worry about writing stuff like that into your book where it makes no sense. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, Scorpio, and you know that book review. So,
Yeah. I do.
but it's like, but
I
that's the
never.
thing though, like leaving your character vulnerable, like I agree with Thomas. Like if they are cannon fodder from the beginning,
Hmm.
then go ahead. But in the same vein, if they are a character like your lead character, then I think you should never rate them in a position of vulnerability. Um, because one, like you know how you read it,
Yeah.
Scorpio, and it took you out of the story because you're like, why is this character just sitting here wide open?
Yeah.
They're like, there's a sniper around, and they're just sitting there head bobbing with a sniper around, and it's like, why are
What
you
game
what
was
are you doing?
oh, the Mortal Kombat after you beat them down they just
Sitting there, So so it's like so like when you think about that, it's crazy. And I think a lot of it goes too is like level of writing. Because there's a lot of people who are rookie writers. I mean, like for real
yeah.
rookie writers, but they have this idea that they're veterans. And it's like,
I ain't got that.
no, like I've been writing my entire life, but I will still never say that I'm a veteran. In my eyes, a veteran is Stephen King. That's a veteran. I will never say that I'm a veteran. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm about midway somewhere in there. Could I write a movie? Yeah, I can write a movie, but I'm not Stephen King. Like,
Yeah.
that's a veteran, So, but a lot of people they're very infantile. They're the infancy stage of writing, which isn't a bad thing,
Yeah.
If anything, you should be. If you should be happy about that because if you do get the right individuals as your mentors, you could easily become a powerhouse.
Exactly.
Quite easily. You have nothing but room to grow. So that's one reason why I never understood. Like some folks, they'll write their first book.
Hmm.
They're like, I'm the best. Like, first off, stop. You're on book one.
Yeah. Tell me about book 25. How you feel?
Like, you were not the best. Like,
Just, just,
just
just,
chill
just,
out.
just trying to script is hard work. I'm just like,
Yeah.
good Lord, it's so tedious. I'm just like, I can't. Give me something where I
Speak.
can just speak into and it just script it for
Well, check this out. I'm glad you brought up scripting. Thomas, let folks know how you do your scripts. Like, because Thomas has a dope way of doing his scripts that I think for some people,
me.
if you're more of a visual, because I know Thomas is like, he's a visual thinker. And I'm a visual thinker too, but I could take mine and put them into words. And Thomas is a visual thinker and I see it with his script. So I'm gonna let you explain that, Thomas, how you do your scripting. Because I think with some folks, it will actually be pretty beneficial and stuff like that for them.
Well, I cheat. I started
Shame on you.
Well, what I did was, what a lot of times it's like I have stories in my head,
Mhm.
and the way I start, like with my comics, way I start, man, is sometimes I might just pick one of my mechs and say, okay, how can I tell the story of what arc am I in with this? And I start building everything around that. Like, which world is it on? Which division is it a part of? What characters am I assigning to this? Okay, now from my graph from my pool of characters, some that I haven't assigned yet, and say, okay, I'm going to have this character as the main character for this story. Okay, what's going to be happening in this story? I got this going to be happening.
Mhm.
Okay, so now I got that base, you know. So what I start doing is drafting it out, and I draft out in on line paper, because I'm like, it's the storyboard, and I just next thing I know, I'm writing, I'm drawing, and it's like I'm just feel like I'm in the story, and that's how I would do a lot of them, until I got the whole story. Then I would clean it up a little bit, and that's how I still do some of them.
Mhm.
But another way I started doing things was to help me. It helped me through a brain lock that I was having. Was I was taking images that I would find offline of some of my favorite animes and everything like that. That what I would see them in just different poses, angles, different things like that. When I couldn't really get it out of my head right, was like, okay, this can help me paint the picture because I can just post these images in these spots as just placeholders, as I'm storyboarding, especially when you're doing it online, or doing it on a computer. I take these certain images and let's just say a scene from Robotech or something like that, where I might have seen a VF in a certain angle or whatever doing something. I
Mhm.
might take that picture and just placehold it in my story as saying, okay, this was a jet, or if I find a whole armada of fighters flying, okay, this might be mine, but it's going to be drawn completely different anyway when it comes to my stuff as well. But it's just things to help me get through the writer's block,
Mhm.
and I put those images there, and it helps me move the comics forward, to where I can say, okay, I got an actual working document now, where I can say, okay, I finished it, or I put words into everything, put the script out there, put everything together, and it's like, okay, this is actually a rough draft now. This is a rough draft that I can actually go back and clean up and have it as a finished work, because when I give it to the comic book artists, I give them, the free reign to be able to, put the angles in there, right, to catch the emotion that they know I'm trying to get out and everything like that. So it helps them out with having, they can see it a lot easier. Because sometimes when I would draw out the rough sketch, it was almost like stick figures. But
Mhm.
other times I went more detailed when I had more time on my hand, just to be like, okay, I can sketch this one out a lot better and show, this, I want this and this angle. I want this character over here. I want them to be showing this emotion. These are the words that they're saying. So all those different things gave me a shortcut way to get the stuff done a little faster, especially when I was trying to work on a specific arc of the comic books, which was like it's going to be the third arc of the comic books, where it's just a lot happening. So that helped me a lot, and it's an interesting method. I showed Ty, and he was like, "Okay, that's different."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I liked it though. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
it gave me ideas too. Like, because sometimes even with me, like I've been writing and script writing for so long, but even still, sometimes I'll sit there and I'm like, damn, how am I going to put this idea, like, especially when it comes to some fighting, especially with Kunoichi, because she's a
Mhm.
ninja. So it's like some of the fighting and some of the blocks, like I'll either have to do it myself, but I'm just like, man, there has to be like an easier way. And so when you showed me that, I was like, that's actually dope. Like if I could pull an
Mhm.
image that has that move that I'm seeing in my head and then set up the page in the panel layout that I want and then put them in there so that the artist can see where things are supposed to be. I was like, that's dope, and you're still in a sense writing the script, you're still telling the story. It's just
Mhm.
now you're giving the artist a visual aid because a lot of artists they're going to ask you for references.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have a reference for this? And so
Yeah.
it was like, so I looked at that. I was like, dang, you're killing two birds with one stone in a sense. You're
Mhm.
writing the script, but then you're also giving them reference. So if they say, well, what's the reference for that? Like you want it like this? What's the reference? It's already on the page. So I was
Yeah.
like, that's dope. To do it that way.
yeah,
So
they
that
like
could
you
be
ain't
something
giving them
too.
a whole
Yeah.
whole full comic. They just say, "Okay,
Yeah.
get them free reign at it," and they like, "Okay." I mean, because they're going to
Mhm.
show you every single image, page, everything like that
Mhm.
before it's approved. So it's like there's always going to be a thing of a little mix up, maybe here and there. Be like, no, this person is the one I want there, or I want this mech in this position,
Mhm.
or small mix ups, little details. But the
Mhm.
more detail, the more fun it is, and the more you have. So
Yeah. Exactly.
Mine is, to me, is crazy because I, like, before I even write the script for the whole comic book, I literally can sit back and just like watch the whole thing take place in my head, and I'm just like, okay. Then I literally start writing, and I put like, okay, they're standing here looking like this. But you hit on something, Thomas, that a lot of writers, especially myself, first coming into the game, I had to learn. I had to learn giving the artist free range. Don't be so, no, I want it right here. It has to be looking here, pointing down his finger. This pointer finger has to be the one finger that's down there, right there in the
Yeah.
center of the page. It has to be right in the center between the 360-degree angle, right there. I had to learn that because, and Tier actually told me that. He said, he was like, you're not giving the artist freedom. It's okay to give them like a reference, which I would do that. Like they would ask, okay, this character, you describe them, but is there like a certain hairstyle you want them to have, or stuff like that? I would get references. That's when I would do what you do. I would go online and I would look at some of my favorite characters, or some of my favorite horror stories, or actors and stuff like that. And I'd be like, okay, that's the look I was looking for. And I'll say, okay, this is kind of like how I want him to look. And then he would take that. He like, okay, got it, take it. So this is just a reference, but you do what you do. I had to learn that you have to give the artist freedom. I
Yeah.
because I don't like binding people. I don't like being put in a box. So I don't want to put the artist in there. I want them to have the free range, but not too much freedom.
Yeah.
right,
Like because you still want them to tell your story,
Yeah,
because you created the story, so you still
yeah,
want them to tell your story. So like what I do with the artists that I've worked with, I just feel like, hey, if something in this script doesn't work, or you
hmm
feel like it don't fit, or you feel like you're like, why are you trying to make him do 7 moves? Because that was something I had
yeah,
to learn from the beginning, because I went from like story writing to and also movie script writing, because like I taught myself how to write movie scripts, and movie script writing and comic book scripts, two totally different types of scripts. Because
yeah.
in a movie script you can have multiple characters doing multiple actions in one scene,
hmm
whereas in a
Mhm.
comic book in that panel is like one action, one emotion per character.
Yeah.
So it's like that's it. So I had to get used to that because like my scripts before, I would have like character walks through door and then turns and is like, okay, and then Mark he was one who was like, you want them to walk through the door,
Or you want him to turn? Which one do you want him to do?
like, so
Is
I
he
had to
walking through the door, going in a circle? What is he doing?
exactly like what do you which action do you want them to do because they only can do one, so like I had to learn that myself, but it's like a lot of wildness with script writing. That's why like with you and with SJ and stuff, I try to I don't want to like because me even with artists and stuff, I don't want to hold their hands,
Yeah.
and then I feel like if I bring on an artist where I have to hold their hand all the time, it kind of defeats the point in a sense, especially since I'm giving you creative freedom, like not artistic freedom, really. I shouldn't have to hold your hand at all, like as long as you stick to the story. But that's one of the reasons why, like with YouTube, like I don't hold your hand, but I like give like those little bits of information when I go over and read it. I'm like, hey, cut that down to one action. We can't have Alex, But like some actions can work. I think matter of fact, it was when I was talking to you because he did. It was the knife throw scene. And I told you, I was like, see, something like this could happen because you could have it where he threw the knives and they could have the knives streaking through the air and then he turns and slashes the throat, so like, that'll work because it's like now those knives are their character, they're doing their action and now he's doing his action. So like those type of movements can work, but man.
Just to let all the people in here know, Tia just gave away some of the book. But
no, I didn't. You just gave away the book. They don't know where that was at. They don't even know if that was in there. You just did it. Did it yourself.
But it's all good though. Y'all still gonna enjoy the book. But yeah, I had to learn that because I was how you get so excited and you just write and I want him to do a punch and a kick and say, hold on, wait, is he punching or is he kicking?
Is he kicking? Because like
can't have him doing Taibo now. Come on,
yeah,
what is he doing?
You have him in the panel. You have him in the panel like this,
doing like this,
leg and arm out. Like can't do both.
Can't have him doing all of that. You got to pick one. So
exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, given what you said, Thomas, giving them free range, I have to, you have to let them do that, and that I'm glad to hear that you actually give them free range. But the way you set it up is like. Do they really have to message you and ask questions? Or I mean, because I'm looking at it like I really don't need you no more until I finish.
Yeah, it's like he gives the answers to the test the way he does it is like
an open book test.
There you go.
If you fail that test, you just
don't. If they got any questions, they come to me and say, okay, well, if there's anything that they're not sure about, they let me know. But there is something that I did want to say about what you were saying earlier about killing off a character.
Yeah.
And I'm a big like I'm not no big time comic book writer or anything like that. So I had my errors as well. I'm probably gonna still make some more mistakes. But it was a particular character that I did kill off kind of fast and early in the book. One that Tier won't let me live down.
I forgot it was that one.
But I did kill him. His character was always going to die. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
I was always going to kill him. I was going to kill him at some point either way. And this way he died was the way I was going to kill him. The only thing was that originally I was going to have more fleshed out in the comics with his character. But by the time I realized, because it's like I was on a mission to try to do 12 comic books in 1 year when I first got started. But I managed to get 7. So when I got
a feat,
when I was talking to him, it was like, I'm still working on my first, and it's been like 7 months. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I didn't know. I said, well, okay, maybe my stuff is garbage. Then I don't know,
Nope.
So,
it isn't.
But I kind of rushed this character to the death. But what I figured was there was still going to be a lot more about the character that people was going to learn about in the comics, and to the point where it's going to go full circle to where, glad he killed him. Glad he did. I'm like, it was a piece of shit. So, but his story's getting told in some of the other comics. Actually, comic book 13, which is about to start getting worked on because I finished the storyboard of that
Yeah.
Recently.
Like that, like there's ways like if you do kill a character, like, and I think that's the dope part about writing. Like if you actually sit down, write, and first like don't like in a sense don't give yourself rules to follow, but don't tie yourself down so much in your rules.
Yeah.
To where it inhibits it shuts off your imagination, because there are ways to tell the story about a character who's died already,
Yeah.
And I think I kind of got an idea what you're gonna do. Maybe I don't know. We'll talk about it, but I know you're gonna tell me because I want to see it anyway. So, and I know it's probably gonna be dope the way you have it planned. Hold on, right quick. SJ Slays said, SJ said, Chair don't have a leg to stand on with that. Which part, SJ? What I mean? You talking about killing people? Hey, if you want to know why we got to, because I remember, matter of fact, in Detroit, it was me, Thomas, and Damone, and we were just talking, and I was saying, like, with some of the characters I didn't want to kill them yet, and they just kept saying, they were like, no golden cows, no sacred cows. Everybody can get it. And I started thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? I could have deaths, I just gotta, and that's where I started figuring out, so you can have your main character, then you can have your side characters, then you can have your cannon fodder, then you can have your main characters who die, and that's one of the things that I'm playing too, because okay, there's the answer. Yes, killing people. I do. But there's ways you can because I know matter of fact, the conversation we got into was how many times are they going to kill Uncle Ben, and that's what we were eating wings and drinking beer. That's what we talking, because it's like let that man he goes to rest. Let him rest. Don't bring him back and kill him again. Let him rest. It's like he'll die and come back, and then they do the same thing with characters. So my thing is, if you're gonna kill a character, you want that character to come back. Kill the character, and what I mean by that is make the audience think the character is dead. You never show the body, never showed any of that, and then when they come back, it actually, oh shit, no, I didn't see them dead. They weren't like laying on the ground, tongue out, bleeding. I didn't see anything. Like that's one way you can do it. There you go. I just Scorpio. I just redeemed myself. You said I gave a piece of your book away. I just redeemed myself right there. But
you were fine
because
the stuff we got going on in our lives, like we gonna remember what happened tonight.
They should. This is a dope show. They should.
Yeah, it's a dope show. Unless they go back and watch it, which y'all should be sharing this, by the way. But ain't nobody gonna remember that.
And watching it multiple times and listening to the audio.
And comment and repost.
Reposting.
All of that.
All that good stuff.
Tell your friends. Tell your granny. Somebody.
So Thomas. So no. I know we talked about it before, but no sacred cows in Raxon.
Because you remember what I told you too about your story. I said if you're not gonna kill nobody, I said, are you telling a true story where you're gonna have all these people with all these abilities, or are you making a G.I. Joe cartoon?
Exactly, and that's why that's when I started thinking, like especially like with Orisha Exos,
and nobody ever gets hit.
Right, especially with like Orisha Exos, like especially for me having gone to war, like I had to start really rethinking Orisha Exos. So like, there's gonna be shit. I can't tell folks, but there's gonna be some. So Thomas, I'm gonna get asked again. Why did you do that?
So Thomas is the reason why them bunnies.
Yep, that's the reason why I killed a planet. I wanted to show Thomas and Damone that I was capable, and now they know.
Oh Lord, took out all the little bunnies. They ain't do nothing to nobody. They were just hopping away, literally hopping away.
I'm just wondering.
Made a lot of the species extinct, so why can't it happen somewhere else too?
Exactly, right. And that's pretty much. Yeah, and that's what I wanted. Like, I wondered, like, who read Oyama Stigmata issue 1 and saw that big old spaceship cruise up like a Cadillac in the sky with the kids looking at it and didn't think anything bad was about to happen.
I already knew that. I was like, God.
I was like, yeah.
I was like,
you know what's going. You know what's coming next.
Do it.
You know what's coming next.
I was like That's all I could
Was
say
that?
was, God damn it. I
Yep.
ain't even bothered to read the bubble. I'm like, God damn it.
No, you see a little boy holding, looking up.
I'm like, oh
Ball,
no, I
ball on
don't
the
know.
ground, the grass. That was the one thing that Mark did that I didn't even ask him to do, and because I know you've used Mark before too for your stuff. And Mark does stuff you don't
Mhm.
even ask him to do it, but it's like he gets in the zone with the story, and he'll
Yep.
start seeing stuff and adding it. He had the grass blowing because of the ship, like the grass was blowing and birds were flying away. And I was like, I didn't even ask for that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, because I've dealt with some artists who they'll just do exactly what you tell them to do. That's why I say Dan is a good artist because he
Yes.
adds stuff that you don't even ask for, and he's like,
I'm
oh,
like, I'm
and
like,
he'll
damn,
add it.
Dan.
That's why it's important. And
Yeah.
anybody out there listening who wants to do a comic, that's why it's important that you give your artists, especially if they're a good artist, especially if they like your work and like the
Hmm.
story that you're doing, you give them that artistic leeway.
Yeah.
Like, let them be artistic. Like, don't hold their hand, don't shackle them. The one thing art and me, I'm an artist. Thomas is an artist. Scorpio is a writer, but you draw too, Scorpio, right? Or no?
No.
Just
Stick
right.
figure.
Hey, that's how, honestly, to tell you the truth, that's how
Maybe
every
geometric shapes. Maybe.
why everybody keeps saying stick figures, that's how every thing starts from a stick
Yep.
figure,
Yeah.
and then you add your geometric shapes, and then you
Somehow,
start
somehow
then
I
you
ended
start
up.
going to it.
Somehow I ended up with a four-sided triangle. I don't know how that happened.
That's,
You don't
you
want
need
to
to go
know.
to Guinness with that one right there. That might be your meal ticket. I don't know how I did it. Here's a four-sided triangle.
A
What the
four-sided
fuck?
triangle. I don't know how that happened.
Like, this man just figured out light speed with a four-sided triangle. Changed the whole
Oh
world.
God. But
How you
yeah,
get a
no.
four?
But yeah, that's very. I've learned that. That's one important thing. Give your people
Mhm.
leeway.
You got
Let
to.
them put their input in it. I mean, that's
That's like,
the
to be honest with you, that's how you
yeah,
can tell. Like, unless you're the artist, then of course, and that's the
yeah.
crazy part too. Like, a lot of people look at the art, like artists who do their comics, and
Hmm.
they'll say, "Oh man, this artist, this is one of the best comics." Like Todd McFarlane, like he was drawing his own comics. So a lot of people
Yeah,
looked at it like, "Wow, he can't write, but it's amazing." Like, because his art told the story. I thought he was a
yeah.
good writer, but I think a lot of people were just hating. Um,
Of course.
but he's the artist, so he can change on the fly. And
Yeah.
like with me inking stars, that's how it comes down to sometimes. Like if I see like some things within the pencils that I don't like, I can
Hmm.
change it on the fly, you know.
Oh yeah.
But of course, an artist who writes their own comics and draws their own comics, they're going to be able to do it. But if you're just a writer and you're hiring an artist, let
Hmm.
that artist have artistic leeway as
Most
long as they
definitely.
follow your plot. Let them have artistic leeway, because as a writer, you're not. They're seeing it when the pencils hit the paper. You're
Yeah.
seeing it, the words hitting the paper, but they're seeing the actual pieces hitting the paper. So they're gonna be, when they look at your words, they're gonna be like, "This don't make sense." Just like Carl, who's the pencil on stars, like
Hmm.
on issue 2, like I wrote something and he was like, he told me straight up, he was like, "I think it would be better if I added more panels to this
Yeah.
instead of trying to do this." He was like, instead of trying to do this one scene with one panel, he was like, "I think it will have more, it will hold more, it would just be more dynamic if it had more panels, doing more things." And so
Yeah.
like he did it with one of the pages, which I'm gonna be probably inking that here in a bit. And it worked. Like I was like, "Oh shit, okay."
Mhm.
Like, sure, you have to, as a writer, you gotta. Hold on.
Yeah.
Facts. We all learn by stick figures. Exactly, SJ. That's how we all learn. That's how every artist learn by stick figures. Man, Scorpio, you better jazz them stick figures up.
Man,
You'll be drawing out like yourself here soon. It's just shapes.
have you seen my stick figures? Oh man, look like an anorexic clown. I ain't even lying. Like he ain't ate in 3 months. I can't do that. Stick figures. How's a fat person skinny? How you manage to do that? I managed to do that.
But I thought you said this character was fat.
My
It
stick
is.
figure.
He
Look,
is.
my stick figures are literally big boned because they're just big
Not
boned.
big bone. Not big bone. The stick
They're
figures.
literally big boned. They're big old black lines, big boned.
Oh
You don't
Lord.
want.
Oh
You don't want.
man.
You don't
So,
want these problems.
so we go we gonna put this. Oh man. I think you already could answer this question, but not 100%. So, but I do want to ask, like, how many books? And that's all the books, like Comics
that
and
I
any other type of book that you have that you've completed so far for Raxon.
technically 13.
Oh, 13.
Scorpio's favorite number.
Good number.
Yep,
Good number.
13. 12 comics and one source book. The source book, though, we're revising it. Source book one, we're revising it. And I'm actually working on source books 2, 3, and 4 simultaneously. So hopefully the revised version will be rolling out next year. Probably the first quarter of next year if I can get everything done right with it.
Yeah.
And source book 2.
Hey, y'all keep going. I'm gonna find that source book. I'm gonna find that source book right quick because I can show
Okay.
them. That thing thick too, like for real.
Yeah.
Now the source book, that's the book that pretty much describes each one of each one. Does it give like in full detail, like why they have certain colors and stuff like that, or is it just kind of like just break it down each one?
The source books, they basically break down a lot of information. They show like the characters that's in basically because we're breaking everything into arcs that will follow the source books. So like source book 1 kind of follows arcs 1, 2, and 3. And it's source book 1 just is completely humans. So it's showing like the first line of mechs that we have, which we call them expanders, power armors, and the initial first characters that you'll be seeing in the comics. And what they have is on each character is their stats, their profile, information on them, like how old they are, how tall they are, how much they weigh, what their eye color is, which division they're a part of. And then we also have like a thing that's called like a secret file on there, which tells maybe some dirt that this person might have done, or the things that they've accomplished and how they've gotten to where they are, or who they may have done something to that makes you kind of look at that character a little different.
Yeah.
So, and as far as like the mechs, it breaks down as to similar the same things, what division they're part of, the name of them, the weapon systems that they have, where was it manufactured, how are they used. So when I say it's a lot of writing in the books, the writing equals the drawings. So there's like, say it's 200 and I want to say 78 pages. On several of those pages is the breakdown of the story as well as timeline pages as well. So everything is all happening in a time frame. So like the whole story does have an ending, and it has a beginning and it has an ending. So it's like book 1 just tells you where everything is. Yeah, see that's book 1 there.
That one sexy source book, boy. Look at that.
Full color.
It's freaking you, full color. Hold on, got mechs
So
in here.
I like
here's one of the
fact
characters.
I like the
there.
fact how you go into detail with the source book, which I think that's how a source book should be. If I want to know anything about one of the characters or one of your robots, I should be able to look in the source book and see, going to give some information. Look at that.
That woman right there. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it? Onyx Aquafina.
Yeah.
Sovereign Satine. She is, man, she's
Yeah.
a monster. She don't play games. Like he has so many characters, man. Like mechs. Like here's one mech right here.
I love those.
So like you still got source books, right? For sale?
I have my copies. We sold out all the other ones that we had, but that's what we said we're going to revise them. From the error that's in that, for the errors that kind of got past us in that one, and to add some new, some more language, because like some of the language, like say, we found was some kind of outdated language that slipped in there by accident, and
check this out. Scorpio. You see that? And it even has like all the ship specs over there.
I might have to have you
This
like
thing.
figure out some type of like vehicle for Alex. Even though
Oh,
I already
he drew me some. He drew me a motorcycle for Kunoichi and a trike
even though
for
he already
sir.
Alex like those expensive ads cars that they don't make anymore. He's that type of person. He just goes and just gets one of those. But I do have a car in mind that's kind of futuristic. Let's just say there's no steering wheel.
Hey, Thomas is like Mean Love said right here. That man is talented. But
Yeah,
and I agree.
I I
Thomas
think,
is the reason why Tuskegee has that P-51 starfighter. Thomas drew that.
but he's
Thomas
also the
designed
reason
that.
why you killed my.
Was it a good one?
Just the bunnies. Not all the bunnies are dead. Just about a billion of them.
No, not just the bunnies. Who else died for the Tuskegee?
These things happen in
Mm,
That's
comics.
Thomas'
mm,
fault.
mm.
He encouraged you to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was my
yeah,
boy.
In
And I
issue
was just
one,
like,
yeah.
in issue what that everybody was mad at me about that today. Was like, how?
my
What is wrong
first
with you?
time. Look, my first time reading Sovereign Comics, and that's what I get. I'm like,
My God, everybody said the same thing. I love this guy. He is so
Hey,
funny. Like he's
I got your defense right here.
mm,
What was when you first saw Star Wars?
mm,
You didn't think twice about that planet getting blown up. You just liked the special effects. You didn't care about all those people down
that's
there.
right. You
you
did.
don't know how I felt.
The only person that felt anything was Obi-Wan.
He's like,
Oh, you don't know
for real.
how I felt. I could have been in love
He's
with the
like,
planet, wanted to live there one day as a child, but no.
oh.
But
And
that,
you
but
look at it,
that,
you're
but
like,
that
wow,
is
that's
true.
cool. Don't even think about the billions
That
of
is
souls gone.
that is true. But yeah, yeah. So, but a little bit of you got into Tier, and from Tier, from me reading that, rubbed off on me. Tier knows what happens in
Yeah.
book one. He's
Yeah,
like,
for real.
why did you do that?
I'm not even saying it, but
What?
as soon as I saw it,
I was like,
I was like,
what?
welcome to the squad.
Yeah.
He was
And then
like, did
like,
you really just do that? I said, yeah, I did.
yep.
Like,
And like,
why would you do that?
and SJ has something coming. I'm not even gonna say anything, but she got some stuff on the way that is gonna be like. Honestly, there's some stuff she did in her first issue. If you still there, SJ, I'm not gonna say anything. But it's
Mhm.
like, welcome to the squad. Like that's
I
how it
think,
is. Like no holds
yeah,
bar. You know,
you have
do the damn
Mr.
thing.
Thomas. I must just say, you have a gift, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
So
You
we had to
really
have you
do.
on.
So you have a gift. Just to, I think any person that is creative pretty much has a special gift, because to just be able to just sit there and literally write out a whole entire story and have a whole dialogue between two people. A lot of people look at us as something's wrong with you, something's crazy. You know, you got multiple people in your head talk. No,
I do.
I do. Me and
Yeah.
Alex talk all the time.
For real.
I
Like
talk
every
Sometimes I have
about
to
time I
say,
furniture in this house.
yep.
me and Alex
Della
have
be
a conversation all the time.
Della be the main one yelling at me whenever I'm writing in Temple High. Because every time I get ready to write, Della be like, you from North Carolina, you better write it right. You know we don't talk like that. Then I gotta change it. I gotta
Look,
change your dialogue.
I will write something, and it sounds too harsh, and I erase it. I can literally hear Alex say, "Bitch." I'm just like, okay, I'll put it back.
Put it back.
Bitch ass.
Put it
I'm
back.
about to put it back.
Put it
Okay, I'll
back.
put it back. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right,
I
put it
see.
back.
He be like, I
Come
see you
on,
tonight on Dreamland.
all right.
When you go to sleep, your ass is mine.
Like, what's wrong with you, man? Put that in there. What you scared of?
Oh
Oh,
man.
but I can tell y'all something though that we are working on doing. That if we do it right, we might be launching January 1st, possibly. Fingers crossed. We might be
Cross line for
launching
you.
a Kickstarter
Okay.
January.
Okay.
Because what
You
we're
trying
trying
to
to do is do one for the volume. We're going to do volumes of the books, of the
you
comic
trying to
book.
take my money at the beginning of the year? Shame on you.
You know
Well,
what?
at least it won't be during the tax time. Then I never get
Hey,
it.
do what Beyonce do. Go always around tax season. Have a tour. Thinking the same songs I've been singing since I first came out. Just revise
Oh
them a
man.
little bit. Put a little dance move in there.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
that's
same dance move.
something
Hey,
we're working on, and a part of the Kickstarter. Some things that'll be in it is the books and um, a line of our 3D printed action figure Mortar Boy series. So we might have series 1 through 4 action figures, which would be like they're like 6.5, almost 7 inches tall. I forgot how many points of articulation, but it's a lot of articulation, and they'll
Nice.
be in full color. So they won't need to be painted or anything. They won't need to be put together. They'll be boxed, everything with all the accessories that we're gonna have with them, each one. So it'll be just like as if you're just buying an actual toy to an extent.
Mhm.
So
That's
we're
cool.
working on that. So that'll be part of the Kickstarter that's in there. So that's just a little heads up that we're trying to get situated for January.
looking
And I'm
forward
already
to
looking. I'm gonna
that.
have to like, what's the top tier? What's the top tier?
Yeah, we're working on that too. What's going to be the
Mm-hmm.
top tier? You know, and then trying to get ready for some cons next year. But yeah, and then like I say too on the subject of the books, like I said, we already got 12 comic books done in the one source book.
Mhm.
Comic book 13, I just finished storyboarding, so that one's going to be getting sent off to start getting drawn quite possibly as early as next month.
Nice.
And the goal is to have that one finished by maybe February, or March at the latest, if not sooner. So, but like because we're moving into arc 2. Each arc is going to have 12 comic books, and source book number 2 is encompassed in those 12. So it's like the next 2 to 3 arcs that we roll out in the comics, the next 2 to 3 source books will have those characters in it. Like Ty's character is going to be getting featured in the comics pretty soon.
Ooh,
So
snap.
his character is going to be featured where you'll see in the source book all the information, all the dirt on his character in the source book.
Shame.
So we're
I'm
gonna have some fun putting his character profile together
Mm.
yeah.
on his
My dude.
nasty patients that he does.
what,
Mm-mm-mm.
what did I tell you? Should I say that? What I told you earlier? His thing, like, well, who he is. Should I say it or should we wait? I'll wait. I'll let y'all find out.
Like that's okay. That's your call.
Yeah, he's gonna be a dope dude though. I think.
Oh yeah,
No holds barred. And
he's a
y'all will
needed,
know. Huh? Go ahead. I'm
he's a
sorry. Go
needed
ahead.
type character in the story.
And y'all are
Yeah,
gonna know who he is, because like y'all gonna know who he is based by his corporation and everything. Y'all be like, oh, that's him. That's him right there.
Oh boy, can't wait.
yeah,
He's no joke.
yeah.
Oh, that was the other. Did we ever talk about his mech? Because that's the one thing I can't wait to see.
Well,
Did we ever
technically, you did. His character designed a few
Yeah.
and a few other things. It's basically his character. I'll just say this little piece without giving away too much. His character is smart as hell and got as far as he did from doing things. So
Was slinging things in space.
he did some
Freak
things and managed to build some networks, and they paid off to where he got bigger than he got too big to where can't nobody control him really no more.
Oh, that's how you do it. That's my goal with Sovereign Comics.
Yeah.
Get to the point where it's so big, everybody's like, "You're canceled, bitch. You canceled." But who are you to cancel me?
Tell them, look, read between the lines.
Right? Like, who are you to cancel me?
Like I
Right,
always
get out my
say, you
face.
can't cancel somebody who created their own road that they driving on. You can't do that.
Yep.
Like you can't
Exactly.
cancel somebody who was here before the internet. You can't do that.
Exactly. Can't do that unless they allow it,
That's
which a
it.
lot of them have allowed it.
A lot
You
of them
know,
look at you like, okay, okay, yeah, whatever.
try to cancel a Koch brother and watch what happens. Your ass might end up on Neptune.
Yeah, that's it.
And that's what I was gonna say too. With Arc 2 of our stories,
Mhm.
that's gonna be Damon's gonna be handling most of Arc 2, if not all, Daniel, all of it. It's not
Okay.
gonna be as violent as Arc 1, but Arc 3 is gonna be 10 times as violent.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing. The calm before the storm. See,
yeah,
our conversations do pay off.
yeah.
And I haven't even read Arc One yet. What's wrong with me?
Hey, Arc 1 is to the wall. I'm telling you,
I
so much
have
stuff
comics.
happens,
I have
and
I
then
have
you.
copies. I have hard copies and I have digital copies. We
Yep.
gotta set the digital copies up on the website, but I still have hard copies. So
We gotta.
we always accepting generous donations.
Oh, I'm sure.
I I think
I
my
am sure.
most. I think my most like anxiety filled spot without giving the books away was when they were on the planet, and then it was them dropping from space to get to the that was like I was like, yo, what? Because I've already read like what you were capable, like what you will do to characters. I'm like, you about to like you'll be introducing people just to kill them. Yeah, I'm looking at things, I'm seeing ships. Well, I'm like, please don't tell me that was them. Don't tell me that was them on the ship, please.
Please don't tell me
Like
that you
the
killed them
Marvel
off that
comics,
quick. Come on.
they'd be on the ship. We get down there, we have brand new characters. Like, who the hell is this? This ain't who you introduced.
Yeah, this is not what we talked about.
They're like the other team got blew up in orbit, so now we're taking over. Like, what the fuck? How are we gonna attach to them?
Well, you got to remember in a space battle, it's like all
Exactly.
kind
It
of stuff
happens.
happens. It's like you can be
Exactly.
like watching a show. Show
Mhm.
comes on, you see a ship fighting
Mhm.
in space. You see a few glimpses of the captain. Next thing you know, the enemy whips out something super powerful, takes out that
Mhm.
ship, captain everybody. You're like, damn. Then
Yeah.
in comes another ship. You see maybe somebody you might recognize. They come in.
Mhm.
That might be a favorite character. That might be the character that survives. So now you're following that character and everything and seeing what's going on. So they lead into more characters and it's just going, to where you're saying, okay, now we're being introduced to what's all
Mhm.
going on. And okay, you start rooting and being like, okay, I want this guy to live. Is he going to live or is he going to die? Okay, I like this guy. All right. And sometimes sometimes I put characters out there to be the cannon fodder. And it's like, let's see what they're gonna do. Or I might put it out there as a false thing where you're thinking this guy's gonna be main guy, and he
Mhm.
turns into a fallback character, but he was introducing another character to show that yeah, you're part of his team. He's actually the big dog, but you're a part of it now. But it's not to say that that character is going to be just left out in future stories because a lot of characters that I have, they're coming back in the comics, So it's like the first arc was just getting people familiar with a lot of the characters that I have, which was a small fragment of all the characters that I have. But since this
Just
takes
don't care.
place over generations,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's going to be characters that's coming in that you're not going to see here and there. And then you're going to see some that are like, okay, where's that guy? I like that guy. Well, get to know this one for a minute because
Yeah.
now we're talking about this story. So it's like it's going to be a lot of bouncing around, but hopefully not too much to where people will be thinking, okay, well, this is not just one story about one character. You know, what should we say? Says something.
That you had something coming, but didn't want to give it away. But it
I
is
think they
good.
were talking to
Uh,
were they talking to
with SJ? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
for
yeah,
SJ.
they were talking
Okay.
to SJ.
Yeah, SJ dude got that story. SJ did something in that story that was like, damn. Like it just made sense. Like I'm not gonna say what it is, but when you see it on panels, you're gonna be like, damn. Like it just made sense. Like it was perfect. But that leads me to believe, like how you were saying, how you can have the ship, you can show the captain, people fall for the captain. Oh my god, that's a cool character. Then they die. Do you think? Like, I think honestly that has hindered a lot of creativity because, and y'all, give me your thoughts on this too, because I think so many people like they'll get attached to a character
Mhm.
and it was meant for that character to die, and then people will get mad when that character dies, and because they got mad, then they'll say, "Oh, but that sucked." I think a lot of people like nowadays. I'm starting to notice like folks really don't value creative things based off of how good they are. They just
Yeah.
value it based off of how it made them feel, and if their favorite character lived, or if their favorite character was a certain way, and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Because like in your books, like in Raxon, it makes sense. Like it's a space battle against alien forces. People are gonna die. You're gonna meet a character, and that character might die in the next issue, or that same issue, or like you might meet them like, "Hi, how you doing?" Boom, the ship blows up right there. So it's like it makes sense, and that's why I was like, when I was looking at Arisha Exos when I had that conversation with y'all, and I'm like, Arisha Exos needs to feel like that, and that's why when we did issue 2 and then the beginning of issue 3, like I just had ships blowing up because like it's space, like it's gonna
Yeah.
happen. You got all these lasers going everywhere. Somebody
Exactly.
gonna get hit. That's
Oh
why I
yeah.
had like you remember because like I think even Damone said something. He thought I was about to kill the main character for a minute
I was like,
because
do it.
this was some stuff that was going
And you were
on.
like, no, 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 I don't want to do
Yeah,
that. I was like, well, kill
yeah, not
somebody.
yet. Like not yet. We ain't gonna do it yet. There's some individuals that we've already met who are about to die. Like once I get back with them, because Damone already said he's good with the mega swap with it.
Mhm.
But there is some characters we've already met who are big in Arisha Exos who are about to.
Yeah,
Mm.
because I got some characters that I'm gonna do some stuff to where it's like,
I'm
Just
sitting.
don't,
hey,
Look, I'm
just don't
sitting
kill,
up
just don't
here.
kill Mina. Don't kill Mina. Don't kill Mina. Not yet.
Well, look,
Let
he's
let,
scratching
let
his
Mina
scalp.
and
Yeah,
Zinga
Mina.
let
Yeah, Mina.
yeah
Mina
let
gonna see
Mina and
Jesus real
Zinga
soon.
meet each other first since they're two badass women with eye patches. Let them meet each other first, and then you can kill her.
Oh, they gonna meet
but
all
there are
right.
certain characters that are not gonna die. There are a
Yeah,
lot of characters that that they are my sacred cows that I just
yeah,
won't tell anybody about. Let people be wondering, is he gonna kill this person?
yeah.
Maybe,
I think that's
maybe.
that's a different vibe though, because I think now everybody has that vibe with
Mm.
Inyamo Stigmata, like the way that I handled that and was killing folks. Like everybody's like, damn, who's gonna kill in the next issue? Like who is it? Because people were even when I showed the cover for issue 3, and I think you saw it. I think I showed you the cover, and like where Lepus is dropping through the portal, and Tuskegee's like reaching out to her, is like saying, "Give her back." And whenever I show that, everybody's like, "Who the hell did you kill now? Like, who died?" So I'm like, "No one
Everybody
died
getting it,
yet." Like,
making
come on.
sure. Look, they're making sure that their insurance caught up for their therapy sessions after they read that book. See,
But I do like that though. Like, not. And it's the one thing that we say because everybody always says, "Well, don't kill for spectacle." But the thing is like we both, whenever we do kill characters, and one thing we've always agreed with: once they're gone, unless you really didn't see them die. Like you just saw the ship exploded, but they could have been gotten to an a pod or something, ejection pod or whatever, and got out of there, or you never saw the body. So that's different. But if you saw them dead,
Oh yeah, they dead.
they did it. They're
Ain't
not
no
coming
coming
back.
back.
but
Yeah.
like you
So,
all, but like you told me, Tier, when I
mhm.
first gave you my book, and I said no, she's dead, and you was like, well, there is a way that you can bring her back. I'm like, no, this one is
There is.
gone. You was like, but
There's
there is a way
always a
you can
way.
bring her back. I'm
No,
like,
but
yeah, I know there's a
but
way.
yeah, but whenever I read the rest of it and I saw how she died, I was like, yeah, there ain't no way she coming back.
No, but if you
That's
think
it.
about it, there is still a way you can.
Yeah.
She could have came
Especially in
back.
your world, especially in your story or your world and what you're doing.
You can
Like I
reincarnate
wouldn't be
mine.
shocked if people died and then all of a sudden you see them walking down the street the next day because of what he has going on in his story. Like especially not everyone, but just certain level characters. And this is one of those characters who's at a certain level that if she dies, I wouldn't be shocked to see her again and like
Just pop up in
with
another
memories and
issue.
all.
You
Yeah,
thought you killed me, but no, you
yeah,
didn't. But
exactly.
no, it's one of
Because
those
they
situations. So there's once again in that writing, there's open range for me to do whatever I want to
because it's
just
like
kind of like make you like, oh crap, she's back again. This bitch back again.
yeah, because it's
I
like it's
thought
like
you
a
killed
it's
her.
like a,
Yeah,
like an underworld type story, but not
yeah.
underworld as in like the werewolves and the vampires, but like underworld as far as like the power that his characters have is like not even special powers, but just
No,
political influence and sign like shit like that. Like
just there's ways, but
they
I
he
may
has a
save
bunch of
that for later.
yeah, he has a bunch of secret trillionaires and stuff. Like who quite literally have they probably I wouldn't be surprised if they like Rick from Rick and Morty got a whole freaking like a Project Phoenix with a whole bunch of bodies just waiting for them to die, and then one of the new bodies just activates. Like I
Just
wouldn't be
come
surprised
back.
if you had a character like that. Actually, damn, now I got an idea.
You know what? Now you just got me triggered.
See, that's why you don't get writers together. We'll start. See, look,
No.
you get an idea too, ain't you, Thomas?
I actually already kind of got a similar thing going on in a character that's in that source book.
Aliens in it.
See, I can do that with
You don't have
one. I could do
He's
that
not an
with,
alien.
I could do that with one of my characters that you haven't that you've seen a silhouette of, but you haven't like met her yet. I can do that with her.
I want to show y'all some more stuff from this source bit. I gotta see this. Like, just the detail and the even with these different factions. Like, hold on. Let me go to the front. Let me hold on. Let me go. Let me go back. Let me go back. All right. So of course you have the United Earth Nations right here. That's their symbol.
That was the one
Then
you designed.
Yeah. What's one I did? That's crazy. And then you
Yep.
got this
That
one.
is-
That's Eden right there. That logo is freaking. And then there's another one in here. I totally forgot I designed it until I was looking through my computer and saw the sketch. There was another one too that I designed. I totally forgot I designed it. Then there's that. The alloys right there. That's their emblem. Like all of them got badass emblem.
Now, Thomas,
This is kind of
how
like
do
one of my favorites right here, Alpha Turbine
Oh.
right here. Like that's just
Now, question: how do you come up with the names for them? Because they flow right along with the characters, like they literally match.
there's another one. This is Armor Tide right here. I'm just showing y'all the emblems because I want y'all to go get these books and you're gonna meet these characters. Crimson Star, they a bunch of trouble. Them
That's
jokers.
Damone's favorite group right
Yeah.
there.
Hey, these jokers right here, a bunch of trouble. That's
Yeah.
Mars, right? Yeah, that's Mars, right? Yeah, they're a bunch
Yep.
of trouble right there.
Mars. Yep.
And then this is a new one from Damone. Masquerade right there.
Yeah. Pirate
That's a
organization.
new one.
Pirate faction.
Got pirates.
Yeah, we got pirates.
This is the one. This is the one I forgot I designed. I designed initially with the sketch, and then your boy.
Oh,
finished
yeah.
it up. They did it.
Yep.
I totally forgot I had designed that initially until I saw the sketches. That's the
Mhm.
Motorboard Legion. That's probably one of the dopest military like emblems right there. And I'm not saying it because I sketched it, but it just the way it turned out. Like I did the sketch in the beginning, but then when he came back, it was like, "Hey, he finished it." I was like, "What the?" That's why we had to get it. Like it's the same dude that did the one for my
Yeah, he
character
did.
his emblem, right?
Yeah.
That emblem.
It's like I use the
This is-
same people who a lot of times 3D the whole things.
This is my favorite one out of all of them.
Oh yeah.
Right here.
Onyx
Onyx Aquafina. Which goes to this, which is crazy. Like, because Thomas, they would say the same thing about Thomas that they would say about me. Like, oh, there are no black characters in there. This ain't for the culture, stuff like that. He quite literally has a planet of black people. And they're right here. A whole planet. Whole damn planet.
How about
and
y'all?
they ain't no punks either. Like they is
And they're not normal size.
to me the most to me they're probably the most scariest faction, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. They are the
They're probably the most
deadliest
scariest
faction,
faction of all.
which not all of them, because they're the most highly technological and they're not average size human beings no more either.
And then this right
Oh, yeah,
here,
Shadow Major.
Major. That's another dope one. Like, but with Onyx Aquafina, like everybody's at Wakanda forever. Like Thomas gave Wakanda a planet.
And I was pissed. I was kind of pissed when I seen because remember I was talking about the nanotech for a while, and in some of the armors and everything, and then when I started seeing Iron Man do it in the movies, I'm like, and then see Black Panther do it in the movies, I'm like, I was talking about doing that for this movie. These movies actually were made. Okay,
and now they're doing.
Well, I know how to look if I did it.
Yeah. But you never know who watching your stuff on the outside.
True.
Yep.
You never
I
know who
actually
can.
because I know when
Yeah.
I thought I was a nobody, one of my friends, you remember Will Focus,
Mm-hmm.
because he was one of the ones who told me. He was like, "Oh," because he had some buddies at DC. He was like, "Nah, they know who you are." And I was like, "What the what?" Like, dude, give me a job. Then I would have still worked for them. Honestly, I still probably would to this day because I would like to write a Black Lightning or a Vixen comic or Mr. Terrific, because
Mhm.
Mr. Terrific, there's so much that could be done for him. Like they water him down too much. Like this man, his can you imagine? And both of you, I know all of us kind of got our own studios or our own workplaces that we go to when we write. Can you imagine that your workplace was a pocket dimension? Like you just press a button and walk into a pocket. This is a black character who walks into his laboratory is in a pocket dimension that he created. He
Hmm.
created his own pocket dimension, and they aren't using him. Like to me, that's
I mean, you
They
would
don't have
think
the
that'd be
creativity.
something that you would
like,
mention.
do you know what you? Yeah, do you know what you can do with this character? Like everybody talks about Batman being the greatest detective, but I'm like, you got Mister Terrific and you got Detective Chimp, and both of them are better than him.
I
Both
think
of them
they
are.
had characters that was created that were so sophisticated they didn't know how to write a good story for them.
Hmm.
That it's like a character is just what you call like a uber character to an extent, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay, how do we even write
Now, where do we
something
even
that
go?
would even be good for this character without it looking like this was crap, you know?
Yep.
And I think that's what a lot of things that Hollywood is doing with a lot of these superhero characters and everything. They keep on rushing out so many characters, and then it's like, okay, you rush this character out, and now you want to go with the same playbook. This guy was a bad guy, keep him a bad guy. Don't try
Mhm.
to make him a good guy. Don't make him an anti-hero. It's
Mhm.
like they just want to be like, okay, we want to get this person out here and let's show on, let's have all of this stuff. It's like, let's make a good bad guy movie.
Yeah.
If the person of this, if you had a superhero that was a bad guy, make it R-rated and just have him doing the stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
make it to where he didn't get stopped. That's just what he does.
Yep.
Mhm.
Imagine a movie like that where you just be like, damn, it just ended like that. Wasn't no
Yep.
heroes. No, the heroes got killed. Oh well,
Yep.
damn.
That's
Okay.
what I'm hoping DC does, because like between DC and Marvel, and I know there's gonna be some Marvel lovers out there who will say that I'm
Yeah.
lying, but DC has the best villains. So for me, I think that they are one of the movie companies where they could have the Joker out, like actually bring
Yeah.
the Joker back in the DCEU, not the not what Matt Reeves is doing with the Batman, but like the DCEU part.
Hmm.
Have him do his thing with Harley Quinn, like, and at the end, they quite literally, like, if they were to do the Jason Todd story, it would work, or it just them freaking, dropping Joker's laughing gas on a part of Gotham, and that's the end of
Yeah.
the movie. But and it would make sense. Like people wouldn't be mad about that. They'd be like, he's done that in the comics 100 times.
Yeah.
That makes
He
that makes
has.
sense that he would actually win, even if
He
it's a small skirmish.
he
It
did
makes sense.
that. He did that when the Oh gosh, which one was that I was reading? It was between when Joker was trying to. It was around the time when James Tynion was writing, when Joker was trying to expose Batman who he really is, and
Mhm.
he actually did that in a movie theater. He invited everyone to a movie theater where he was going to show um,
I think I know what you're
Batman's
saying.
life story from a little
Mhm.
boy up until now, and he actually released the punchline, but she helped release that laughing gas, and
Yeah.
everybody end up turning to with the Joker's grin. So I'm just like,
Mhm.
I would like to see that in a
Like that would be dope.
Batman
It would make
movie.
sense. DC, we know y'all listening, so there you
I
go.
would like to
Do
see
what Marvel
something.
haven't done has it. Well, I can't say Marvel hasn't done it because they kind of did it with Thanos with the snap, but that was like half. But
Yeah,
like do it,
you have to do that because that's
do it.
that's that's Thanos' thing, snap. So kind of
Yeah,
have to do that a little bit.
That's exactly
yeah,
why I don't mind wiping out planets.
yeah.
It's like if I got a bad guy, bad people doing bad things,
Hmm.
well, what's the limitations? Why
Right.
why stop with just one squad of mechs getting destroyed? Let's take it further. What was all
Mhm.
on the planet? Women, children, you know,
Yep.
Hmm.
everybody. They're gone now.
Bunnies,
Yeah.
bunnies. What?
What is wrong with you? Why would you do that? The bunny was just hopping in the grass,
Oh, speaking
minding its
of,
own business.
Could have made it worse. Could have made it
yeah,
worse. They was being harvested for their feet
yeah. Oh,
or their ears
oh, no.
or for food.
They were though. That part was in there. They
Oh
were.
yeah,
They were getting on it for food, and as
Why?
and some
yeah.
of
We
them being
know.
used for
We know
corn
some of the
beef.
other things they were used for.
Yeah, because you were the one of the first ones that pointed it out. You
I was
I
like,
you
you
was just
messaged me
like,
dirty.
Reddit. You was like you. I see what you did there. He's like you used
Mhm.
something else. I was
mm-hmm,
like,
yeah,
what are you talking about?
man.
You was like you put a you. He was like you put a for real bunny farm in your comic. Like, yo, I was just wondering who would catch it. Like a lot. I think some people caught it but didn't say anything. But Thomas was the first one who told me. He was like, you put an actual bunny farm or bunny ranch
Yeah,
in your comic. You put a for real bunny ranch in your comic.
yeah.
Yep.
That's
There's a real
exactly
bunny
what it
ranch in there.
was. A bunny
Yeah,
ranch.
a bunny
For real bunny
ranch.
ranch.
Like you
Yep.
dirty man. You keep doing
You
it.
you nasty thing.
Yeah.
Where's
I
my
thought
oil?
that.
I bet people who got comics in there listen to. I'm like, wait a second, there was a bunny ranch in there.
Yeah.
Yep,
Hey, you gotta
there's a
slip in
full on
some.
bunny ranch in there.
You gotta slip
Yeah,
in the stuff here and there where you
Yeah,
can.
do it.
I
Yep.
saw it. I
But,
couldn't believe y'all didn't see it. I saw. I was just like, oh my, what?
I was happy he
I'm
did
like, yep,
it.
for real. Like this is a whole new side. Because everyone's like, oh, you only write superheroes? Like, oh, like when people say, oh, you only write superheroes? Like reading almost stigmata. That'll change your mind. I don't only write
Oh
superheroes.
yeah,
Mm.
But
your whole perspective of.
But I'm gonna share this, and so all three of us have worked with artists because we got books. So I'm gonna share one of my funniest stories dealing with the artists, and then I want y'all to do the same, and then we'll end it there. But one of my funniest story was actually dealing with Mark, and I it was in a Yama Stigmata issue too. I typed in there that when she looked out the door, she would see mushroom clouds everywhere. Right? Mark sent me the sketch of the page, but it was mushrooms. Actual mushrooms. And I was like, no, Mark. So, but it's kind of a language barrier. He's from the Philippines, so a little bit of language barrier too. So she was like, he actually do mushrooms. And I was like, no, like this. And I sent him the picture, and he just started laughing. He was like, oh, I thought you wanted actual mushrooms. I was like, that would have been weird as hell. Like, can
That
you
would have
imagine?
been.
Like,
It was like, what is there mushrooms in the sky?
Like, is this supposed to
no,
be a trippy book?
Yeah.
what's going on? Like, should I be high while I'm reading this? Like, oh, but you know what? There's something. Both of you know this. Like what I said, who I said I'm introducing in issue 3, the one
Mm-hmm.
fairy tale book that we
Yeah.
have, that I'm introducing them into.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wonder. You know, I just say wonder. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm introducing that into it. Now the mushrooms would have made sense if it would have if I would have kept them with that. It would have made sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's like the funniest. That's like the funniest thing ever. We laughed about that for a hot minute, and then he drew them right, and he left one back there. He was like, "So is this right?" And he left one way in the back to mess with me. I was like, "We still got one in the back." I should have left it there.
Yeah.
Just someone would have
They
caught it.
wouldn't have
Just
caught
left
it.
it.
Nobody would
Left.
have caught it.
Yeah.
Somebody would have caught it, but nobody really would have paid
Yeah.
attention.
You know who would have caught it? It would have been a hater. Like,
Of
see, he says
course.
his comic's the best. Why he got that big ass mushroom
They
back
got a
there?
mushroom back there.
No, it's an inside joke between me and the artist. That's why we got that big ass mushroom back there.
Or it could have been letting you know what the next book was about. You never know.
Yep, a true Easter egg. But
Mhm.
yeah, we'll go ahead. Thomas, what is your? And Scorpio, we'll let you close out the show. So, Thomas, what is your funniest story that you had with the artist?
Funniest story, I would say it was my artist is Sarinka.
Okay.
She loves to draw Satine. So I just let her have those
Yeah,
two
she.
books
Yeah,
because
she
she was
kills
able
it.
to nail her. Even though if Satine was an actual character, I said this before, it would be the female wrestling champion Jade Cargill.
Mhm,
She
mhm.
would be Satine all day, every day. Because I've
Oh yeah.
seen her do her cosplays, doing like a Mortal Kombat female character. She had a green hair, or she dressed
Mhm,
like Storm, having the white hair. She's been wearing the white hair for a while now, but that's Satine. But when she did the comic book The Plan,
mhm.
when I was sending her the stuff, sending her the scripts and everything. So she's like, you don't have to send them to me all at once. She's like, just send me, so we'll just work it piece by piece. I was like, okay. So when I finally got to a death scene, she was like, if you lived in my country, I probably would call you right now. I did not see that coming. I'm like,
oh man.
Well, let me just send you the rest of this.
Yeah.
And so
read the rest.
She was like, okay. So this is where I said also where I was not a good writer in the beginning. I had to go back and revise the plan because it was kind of a finished version. Then it was like, she's like, this isn't the way you finished this. This wasn't right. We got to go back and redo this. I said, okay. Well, here's some extra stuff to add in there since you're redoing it. And she was like, yeah, I was talking about some verbiage, but I didn't expect you to do that in there either. I was like, yeah. She was like, but I like it. Okay, so we're doing it. I was like, oh, hell yeah, we're doing it again.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And that
I got to work with
the killing of the character Tyrone didn't expect to get killed.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what is going on? I do want Sarika to draw Kunoichi because I think she would draw the hell out of Kunoichi.
Oh, yeah.
I think she would.
Yeah.
She would draw the hell out of Kunoichi. But Scorpio, what's your funniest story?
It's kind of hard to think of a funny one because it's the first book. We haven't really.
I know Dan is doing something funny.
He has, but it's like it's so many. Oh, okay. The fact when I certain parts of the book when someone is getting, well, they want you to use the word unalived now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I thought that was just gonna like scare him away because there's one part where Alex just comes on the scene and literally just stands there and just stare and just look and everybody's like in shock like and I'm thinking he's gonna like kind of like something's wrong with him or either this is kind of scary. No, he enjoyed that part. I was like, oh, you sick like me. I like that. You're crazy like I am. Okay, yeah, we're gonna be good together.
No, we're gonna be best friends.
The fact that all I did was told him about the story and told him about the character. He kind of scared me a little bit because I was like, he literally like went in my head, got the character and put it on paper. I was like, oh hell, that's him. How did you do that? And he managed to actually do that. So that's kind of like our funny little thing. I'm just like, I said, I already told him, I was like, look, you have to take your vitamins and take care of yourself because I need you around. Because no one can draw Alex the way he draws Alex.
Yeah.
If it comes down, he's like, you need a new artist. I'm gonna be like, well, that's the end of Alex. We're gonna go ahead and unalive Alex, or either make up some story where he's somewhere in an incubator or something, and it was all alive. We're gonna start a whole new character because no one can draw him the way he drew. Yeah. He draws him. So
he draws the hell out of Alex.
And he hits every facial expressions and all. So that's why I was like, I don't have to worry about it here. Here's a story. I don't have to worry about it because I know you're going to either give me what I want or you're pretty much going to tell me, no, that's not what you want. This is what you want. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. It's better than what I had.
That's one thing that I do like with some artists.
Yeah. And
I'll say that in the ear, but that's one of the things I do like when the artist will tell you, like you'll send them the script. And they're like, no, you don't want that. And they'll slide you this is what you want. You're like, oh shit, that's what I wanted.
Okay. I was being nice, being coy with it. You want me to go ahead and be nasty. All right, cool.
Yep. Like I've had Marcus done that to me, Carl has done that to me, Damone has done that to me. Daniel did it. Like when we were talking about the Hellfighter and some of the stuff he brought in with the Hellfighter. I was like, man, but
yeah, Dan does it to me all the time. He was like, if you do this, I'm like, oh, okay.
Take it.
Okay. That's all I can say is, oh, okay. I'm not gonna fight you over it. Your name's still on the book. They know you're the artist.
Yep,
So I
exactly.
mean, either way, you still getting some type of royalties. I mean, you still getting paid for it. I can't.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah,
I feel
that's
that.
my story.
I feel that. I feel that. Well, we've been up here for an hour and 30 minutes. This was a good
Oh,
one.
oh,
So I was surprised to do a part 3. We like having you on, Thomas. Like,
oh
because
yeah,
I do feel like more people need to hear about Raxon Universal Dominion. Like,
yes,
I don't know. I think more people need to hear about it. Your books need to be bought more. Like, one, you're doing mech comic books, and you were quite literally the reason why I created Orisha Exos. And I don't know if I said that on the last show, but I'm saying it now. You're the reason
yeah,
why I created Orisha Exos. I remember we were talking, and I saw this stuff, and I was like, man, you know what? I was like, I've loved mechs and stuff. Like we would start talking about like Gundam and then Robotech and stuff like that. And then you told me about what Warcross, and I was like, yo, I remember watching that. Like that was that a part of no, hold on. I'm probably getting
It's
confused,
talking
but I
about,
remember watching
there was a lot of what Macross.
yeah, Macross. Yeah.
You had 3 different stories that they just combined into one and called it Robotech.
hmm
Hmm. Yep. So and so I was just like, I want to do mine. And that's when he started asking. He's like, so what type of mechs do you like? And I was like, I always like the mechs that are kind of they're mechanical but sentient. And so that's what the thing with Orisha X, and I started building it from there. So yeah, people need to definitely check out Raxon. And matter of fact, let me put this up here so y'all can check him out.
mm,
On IG is Raxon Universal Dominion. Is Raxon underscore Universal underscore Dominion. Facebook is the same thing. I know I got that dash, but that's an underscore. Facebook
yeah,
is the same thing. And then the website is www.raxondominion.com. Raxon is spelled Raxon. For those who like the phonetic alphabet, that's Romeo Alpha X-ray Oscar November.
there you go.
For those questioning my military, yes, I know that's still at the back of my hand. Like that's Jesus Christ, especially being on the radio sometimes too. But hey, so
And look,
um,
imagine me in the military doing that. They'd be like, "Man, and get off." I'd be like, "What?"
I love my. That was the one time that I actually love my initials because
I'd
they
be
be
like,
like, "So you're no TJ
I'd,
Tango Juliet." I'm like, that sound like a badass right there.
I'd be like Robert. I'd be like Robert Apple X-ray Orange and next year.
It's funny, like
They're like, "Get off and get him off now."
what the fuck is he talking next year? What the
Well,
fuck?
next year, what?
But it's funny you say that because like I know I've called USA before. Like some people, a lot of people who work at USA aren't military.
Oh yeah, they are
It's not like
military.
they're not like a military, but it's a military insurance.
Yeah.
But I've had people do that, and they'll try to do phonetic. They'll start. They be like, they they be like yellow. I'm like no, that's Yankee. They be like apple, rabbit. No, it's
Hey,
not rabbit.
that sounds just like me.
What's with the
Our
rabbits?
Yeah, what's with the rabbits?
road
What y'all
atmosphere.
don't know is that's how I got the idea for the rabbits. Rabbits. You're absolutely right. Okay, rabbits. Wrote it down.
You just
You got to
gonna
see the
keep
game
on,
Bloody Roar.
just gonna keep on
Right.
They had the
messing with
rabbit
my
girl in there. Would turn
messing
into
with
a
my
half woman,
head.
half rabbit, and would be fighting in the game with boxing gloves
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite characters. She had hands, man. She was fast too.
Yes.
She was like the fast. Yeah, she was the fastest one, especially when she went. No, she was fast in human and rabbit mode. But she was fast in both, I think. So, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and end it there, y'all. This was another good show, a great show
Always.
coming off of our break
yeah.
last week. So this was fun.
Yes.
I've got to learn a little bit more about Raxon. We're gonna have to get you back on. Probably, I might invite you. Yeah, I might invite you on when we do our last show of the season before the year is out, because we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things in comics and movies, and we don't here nothing is taboo. So
Nothing is
we're gonna be talking about a
taboo.
lot of stuff. But thank you for sure for coming on. Like I said, I want people to know more about Raxon Universal Dominion because the stories are good, and if you like giant robots, you're gonna love it. Like I promise you. If you're squeamish around your favorite character is dying, though, Go watch a couple of animes and then come back.
Yep.
So, because this is a little worse.
Yeah. Somebody gonna die. Sorry.
Somebody gonna die.
Somebody gonna
In
die.
every issue, somebody's gonna die. And that's the one thing I like about it. Every issue, people die. So that's why I was telling people about Cypher Team. Everyone's like, they're heroes. I'm like, you know, Kunoichi was killing people from issue 1 all the way through issue 2. Like she
didn't care.
She was killing everybody. Are you thinking about it? Yeah, you do kill people every issue.
Mm.
Yeah.
You didn't know that, Thomas? You do it so much.
Yeah,
you don't
as I'm looking at my books, I'm like, I didn't
Yeah.
kill somebody. Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
What you were thinking about Nick, weren't you? Because that's the one I was thinking about. Nick the Frozen Soul.
Yeah.
Anyone die in Nick, but someone did die in Nick.
Killed.
Yeah, that's right. That's what flipped them out. That's what flipped them out.
If you're not killing a human, he killing a cat.
He didn't. I don't think he did. Yeah, it was accidental, right? Yeah, it was accidental.
No, it was deliberate.
Oh, you're right. It was. You're absolutely right. It was. I remember that it was.
He was killing
deliberate.
cats.
And then he went off.
That's
a good book too, because you get to see what somebody who's been frozen in time comes out, Nick the Frozen Soul, and see what happens when you piss them off. That gave me some Akira vibes, though. I'm not even gonna lie. That gave me like Akira vibes reading that one. Not even gonna lie. So, but yeah. So there y'all have it. I'd like to thank everybody for coming to the bridge and joining us here at the bridge.
Thank you.
We hope that you learned a little more about this superstar creative, Thomas Johnson, and his Raxon Universal Dominion universe. Universe is right there in the title. Universal Dominion. And I hope we bridge that gap between, the fans and the creators. We just bridge that gap up. So hope y'all know a little bit more. Hope y'all are getting down this website so you can go and get some of his books. You will not be disappointed. I promise you that.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, please.
Mm-hmm. Please.
Tell your friends.
That helps us.
Tell your neighbors.
Yep, that helps us. It gets us out there so people can hear us more. And that's what we need.
Yes.
So that, because if we bring you on as a guest, and if you're sharing, and more people are hearing
who you are.
Yep, you get to see who you are. You're just setting up more guests to include yourself.
Exactly.
To get seen. So,
exactly.
Thanks again, everyone.
Yes. Thank you all. Good night. See you next Wednesday. Don't kill no bunnies.
Yep. Say no promises. No promises.
No promises. Might step on a lizard.